See, you fall asleep, you have a dream, and then suddenly you've completely forgotten what you were doing. Hello, you beautiful people out there. Welcome to another very exciting episode of JJ Plays Modded Minecraft. I am your host, Jon-Michael Booth, and today we are inside our own faces. We are running backwards because, well, reasons. That's why. Today we are going to be doing some things inside this mountain. Inside this mountain. Yes. Are you surprised or are you curious as to what might be happening inside that mountain? Well, take a quick gander at this. I have dug this little tunnel and it goes down and there's a trench and then it continues all the way down and there's some sounds of water and then there's some extra little stairs and then there's a place where I'm going to need a ladder and yeah. Then there's this great big open empty space. Why did I create a great big open empty space underneath a mountain? Well, for my new reactor, that's why. Yeah. So I'm sick of having a little tiny reactor that supplies barely any power. Let me show you guys something. Let me show you my motivation for this. Hopefully this doesn't make a liar out of me. Yeah. So you take a look at the power in the farming station, and you can see it will support up to 100,000 RF in its banks. Yet it can only charge up to about, maybe 1,700, maybe 2,000 RF max before all the power is sucked out just to do the farming. The problem is I don't have enough power being generated by my reactor. And I have a half-decent reactor. That's what's going on over at my old base, way over there. So it's got, it's like, I think like a, 3x6 or something, 3x5? 3x5 reactor. It's got 3 control rods, and it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 layers high. Actually, I think it's 5 layers high because there's actually a layer underneath the floor. So 5 layers high, 3x5x5, which is not really that much. It's not that big for a reactor. The other weird thing is, why is this reactor always turned on? I think I know why this is happening. It's because these chunks are not loading or not staying loaded when I leave. So weird things are happening with the reactor. So I'm going to have to put a chunk loader or something down at some point. I'll have to work on that. But I want another reactor, basically. That's what I'm going to do. And if you recall, it takes a great deal of effort to make all of the parts for the reactor. So I'm going to start doing that right now using some of the stuff that I have. Wow, look at my inventory. It's terrible right now. Oops, sorry, let's open up my bag of holding and put some of the things we want to keep in there. This definitely. Yeah, the rest can kind of go away. I mean, I can make bottles of enchanting anytime I want. That can go away, and then boom, all that stuff there. Then I can bring some of these things back. The food I need, the shovel I don't need, the wrench just to fill up my inventory. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so reactor. Yeah, I made a pickaxe recently. Reactor. So I'm going to need a lot of reactor casings. I have a few reactor casings. I'm going to make a pattern for reactor casings. So let's see, where are we here? Reactor. It's made like this. So let's make a pattern for that. Got that. We need a pattern for graphite, I think, because we don't have any, or we don't have very much. We have 132 graphite. which is okay, but it's not going to be enough to make all of my graphite bars. So I might need to make a pattern for that, but it's a processing pattern, so it's a different kind of pattern than we've seen so far. Probably not relevant. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's set up. Oh, wait a minute. No, I can't do that because my ultimate furnace is set up in a completely different way. So, sorry, see, the brain is actually going. I'm talking faster than I'm actually thinking. So maybe I should actually pause and think a little bit about some of the things I need to do. So reactor casings, I need patterns for. I also need, what else do I need for a reactor? I need a reactor controller. So this is pretty easy to make. So I can make a pattern. Actually, I don't even need a pattern for that because I'm really only going to need one reactor controller. So why don't I just grab it? Can you pull it out of there? I guess you can't. Okay. I need control rods though. So I should make a pattern for the control rods. So there's that. I'm going to need yellorium fuel rods. So I'll make a pattern for that. I'm going to need power tap. Only going to need one power tap though, so again, I don't really need a pattern for that. Don't need a pattern for my access port. That might be all the things I need patterns for. So let's go to our interface terminal and just jam some of these things into our molecular assemblers. So now I can craft those things on demand. I love doing that. So we'll come up here, reactor casing. So I need 3 of these, but I also need a bunch more because for the base, it's a 10 by 10 area. So I need 100 for the base. Then I also need a bunch for the sides and for the towers. I didn't do the exact math, but let's see. It's about 100, 200, 300, 400. It's about 500 I'm going to need. So I could probably just make 500. I know it's going to be less than that because 10, 20. There's always like a little extra around the edges that I don't need. But that's okay because if I have a few extra in my inventory, it's no big deal. Here's the interesting thing here. It's telling me I'm missing 368 graphite bars. So let's just cancel that and make some graphite. So graphite bars, if you recall or if you don't recall, are made by taking coal or graphite dust, or I know there's a way to do this. Just plain old coal. Can't you just take coal? Yeah, I'm sure there's a way to just take coal and cook it. So I need over 300. So what is that? 300. That's a bunch of stacks. So if I go coal, oh, there's coal right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 256. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 512. So that's definitely more than I need. But the interesting thing is, if I come down here to my ultimate furnace and I jam this stuff in there, you can see how fast it cooks. So I can just stand here and do this. I could have actually programmed it to do this, but it's not necessary. It's really not. Oh, but you know what? Maybe it is. Ooh. See, now I'm getting a new idea here. I'm going to stop what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to plunk that off. And then, remember this guy? I had this import bus on here. And right now it's set to import yellorium. But this stuff is so fast. Or this machine is so fast that importing is just kind of silly. So why don't I just pop that off. And then go get it so that I don't lose it. That too. And then I'm going to make an ME interface specifically for that guy. So interface, one of these. Do I have what it takes? Yes, bang, there. I have an ME interface, and what's neat about the ME interface is there's actually two configurations for this thing. There's the big block version, but if you put it in a crafting station, it can become the small version. They do exactly the same thing. I could actually switch it back just by putting it back in the crafting station, but I want this little one. So let's come over here, and hopefully this will actually work. I've got this kind of weird thing going on right here, but actually I'm going to try it like this. Boom, there we go. Interface actually worked. Oh, but you know what I should do? I should name it. Yeah, because I won't be able to tell which interface is which. Ooh, I just got a text message. But I'm not going to check it because I'm recording a video, and I think that's the way it is. Okay, so over to the anvil. If I put the ME interface in there, can I name this? I think I can. No, it doesn't want to let me take it out, but maybe if I call it alt furnace. Yeah, see, I'd be able to take it out. The only problem is I need 5 levels of enchantment. So let's grab some enchanting bottles. Boom. And 5, 6. Yeah, see, very fast. Okay. The interface goes in. We rename this alt furnace for ultimate furnace. Dink, dink, dink. Okay. And then we'll come back over and do what we meant to do in the first place. So let's jam that on there. It's now connected directly to that. And check this out. If I come over to my interface terminal, you can now see my molecular assemblers on my network, but if I scroll down, you should also see my ultimate furnace. Now I can put patterns in my furnace. So check this out. Come up to my pattern terminal. We're going to switch this to processing, and we're going to say if I put in 64 coal, I get out 64 graphite. Now it'll process in blocks of 64, which is pretty cool. So we'll encode that pattern. So this is a special kind of pattern. It's not a crafting pattern per se, because you can't just put them into a crafting terminal and get that. But if I put that terminal or that pattern in my ultimate furnace, let's see, where's the pattern? There it is. Bang, right there. Now check this out. I'll come over here to my graphite. I'm going to pull all of this graphite out of my system just so that there's none clogging the way. And then I will attempt to craft some. And I just want to craft, well, just for the sake of argument, let's craft, actually let me show you something. If I just want to craft 20, remember it'll craft in blocks of 64. So if I request 20, it'll give me 64 anyway. So I'll click next. It shows me what I need, which is 64 coal. It'll craft 64 graphite. I'll click start. And now that stuff should have been fed automatically to my furnace. And I'm sure it happened so fast. Let's see. There it is. I've got 64 graphite bars, which is pretty cool. Now I can actually craft things that require graphite bars because it will automatically manufacture them as they are required, which is very cool. I'm going to have a quick sleep, and then we will resume in the morning. Okay, it is the morning. So what was I doing before I fell asleep? See, you fall asleep, you have a dream, and then suddenly you've completely forgotten what you were doing. Making reactor casings, right? So let's get all of this stuff back into the system that I want. Let's get that out again. Let's put my wrench there, and then all this stuff can be put away. There. Reactor casing. So I've got 3 reactor casings, but I want more. I want 500. Boom. Now I've got all the things I need, and start. And so look how fast this is going. Very cool. But I can also look over here, and you can watch it craft. That's how many are left. It's using this CPU. Yeah, you can actually see. Must be this interface being used because it's using 3 of the molecular assemblers around it. And it's going pretty fast. In fact, it's done. So there you go. I have a bunch of reactor casings. I can now take those reactor casings, all 500 of them, and I will be using them to build my new reactor. That is not all I wanted to do this episode. I wanted to show you more of the power of this whole pattern thing by creating something that I should have created quite a while ago that I've never really gotten around to. And that is these octatic capacitors. These are the things that that speed up all your Ender IO machines. So I need vibrant alloy, I need double layer capacitors, I need some glowstone. So if I try to make that, you can see I don't have very much of those resources. So let's actually make the things leading up to those. So double layer capacitors. I need single layer capacitors to make the double layer. So let's go 1 layer back, single layer. This is how you make double layer capacitors. I mean single layer capacitors, but you can see I don't have golden nuggets. So let's go 1 layer even further. It's like it's like Inception here. So making gold nuggets are made like oops, I passed it. There, like this. You put 1 gold ingot down, it gives you 9. So let's do that. Let's create a crafting pattern for that. So we're ready for that. Then let's put that in our interface, one of our interfaces. There we go. Let's make a little bit of gold nuggets, just so that we can, well, let's not make that many. Let's make 20. There we go. It's actually going to make 27 because that's a multiple of 9, because remember 1 gives 9, so it has to do 27, if that makes sense. Now, we need to go with our basic capacitor. So where are we here? Right there. In order to make that, we need copper, we need redstone, and we need gold nuggets. Create the pattern. And then we come over here. Oops. Nope. Come down here first. So we put the pattern in one of our assemblers. Then we come up here and we say, make some basic capacitors. Let's just make 4 of them. That'll do. So they're crafted. Then we need to make some double layer capacitors. And they are here somewhere. They've got to be here somewhere. How come oh, there they are. Right there. So these use energetic alloy, they use coal powder, they use basic capacitors, and I have all those things, so let's make that. Go to our interface, and the pattern goes in there. And then up here, let's make, let's see, double layer capacitors. Let's make about 10 of those. Sure. So everything's available. I have lots of pulverized coal too, which is interesting because I didn't think I had very much of that stuff. Got lots of copper, got lots of energetic alloy. So there we go, and you can see it's crafting away just fine. Now I can make my octatic capacitors. So that's these guys. So unfortunately, I don't have glowstone. So let's figure out a pattern for glowstone. That's just glowstone dust. So let's make a pattern for that. Come over here. Nope. Come down here. And that goes in there. Hello. How come I can't put that in? That's glowstone. Did I not make a pattern for glowstone? No, I actually just made glowstone. That's kind of weird. Glowstone. There we go. Encode the pattern for glowstone. Then we make glowstone in there. And then if we want to make some glowstone, let's just make like 4. Start. It makes glowstone. Then we can go to our octadic capacitors. Boom. And this is the pattern, so we'll encode the pattern. And again, nope, I always open that one first for some reason. This goes here. There we go. Now, I should be able to request octadic capacitors. I need, how many of those do I need? I need one for each of my auto crafting machines, so that's 12. I also need one for the painting machine. I need one for the splice and slice. These are not Ender IO. This is, so I need one for this, and I need one for this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like about 16. Well, the funny thing is, 16 is kind of a minimum. So why don't I just make 32 of them? Oops. You can't just type 32. You actually have to type what you want. Octadic capacitors, 32, next. So what am I missing? I'm missing pulverized coal. But the nice thing is it tells me I have 14 and I'm missing 40. So I need to make 40 more pulverized coal. Well, that's easy. I can just take coal. Ah, see? If you are with me here, hopefully you are, because I can come over to my sag mill, which is currently just grinding away at something. What are you grinding away at anyway? So it's grinding away at Certus quartz ore. I need to put an interface down. Actually, you know what? Why don't I just put another machine down somewhere? Let's make a sag mill. Let's make another sag mill. I'm sure we have the resources for a sag mill, right? So some flint, a machine chassis, a piston. Yeah, we're all good. Let's get out some cable. So some dense cable, some smart cable, some ME glass cable, and hopefully that's enough. So this is 16, going to be 16 machines or interfaces because of the of what's up here. So I can use this row right up here. Of course, I forgot the most important part, the interface. So let's grab an ME interface. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. There we go. ME interface. Let's put it in here and turn it into that. Let's grab some more enchantment bottles because apparently I need them to rename things. I need, what, 5 levels? Okay. Come over here, put my ME interface in here. And this time, it's going to be a sag mill. Bing, bong, burk. Okay, so from the front, we take our sag mill. We plunk it down right there. I need to break that and break that. I need my interface. You guys are probably going absolutely crazy because I know I keep forgetting things. Import bus. Import bus. Bang. There. Got an import bus. Probably wouldn't hurt to have at least a couple acceleration cards, so I'll take those as well. Okay, so the import bus goes on the bottom. I need some ME glass cable. So, right there, right there. And then, I guess I will extend the dense cable up dense cable up, and then smart cable over. So now that should come online. There we go. So I now have my interface connected. I have my import bus connected. I will add the acceleration cards to my import bus so that goes fast. My SAG-mill is now connected to my ME system through the interface. Ooh, you know what? I just realized I don't have power connected to it. So let's go conduit. This does take a little bit of time to do, but it's so worth it. It is so worth it in the end. Okay. Right there, there, there. There we go. SAG-mill's connected. Okay, so it's getting power. It has an ME interface attached to it. Did I do the pattern already? I did not. So, if I take coal, and then I take pulverized coal, I should be able to create a pattern that says take, let's see, I only have 14 pulverized coal, but I can do this in, let's say, 8. Right? Nope. Oh, that's because I'm on this. So cut that, cut that, cut that in half. There we go. 8. So 8 coal should give me 7, 8. This should give me 8 pulverized coal. And we'll make a processing pattern out of that. Take the pattern, come to our interface terminal, come down, and we should have a SAG-mill now. And there's the pattern for coal. And now let's make one octadic capacitor because we can afford that. There we go. Got our one. We're going to come over here and drop it in here because that will make the machine go faster. Now, this is interesting. Using octadic capacitors to make octadic capacitors. Craft. So I wanted 32 of them. Next. Look at that. I have all of my available things. I actually need to craft pulverized coal. So it tells me I need to craft it. So if I click start, hopefully you should see many, many cool things happening. So there's glowstone being created, there's gold nuggets being created, there's capacitors being created, the SAG-mill's pulverizing coal for me, the interface is working, I don't know if there's anything cooking in this particular recipe, but the point is it's all just happening on its own. I didn't have to, once I get it all set up, I don't have to do anything anymore. And then I can check this little guy to see how things are going. So it's making double layered here, it's still making single layered, it's still pulverizing coal, it's waiting for 23 of them, 22 of them, and every time it gets more pulverized coal from my SAG-mill, it stores it in the, it creates a double layer capacitor, and then from that it has enough resources already to make my octadics. So a few more seconds here, I'll have all of the octadic capacitors that I wanted. In fact, I've already got enough that I really needed. So let's go place them into our machines, and then we shall be done with this episode. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to keep plunking these capacitors in while I'm talking to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really still enjoying making these episodes. Are you enjoying watching these episodes? If you are, please give me a thumbs up because that will really help me out. It will let me know that you guys like the episodes, and I will keep making the episodes if I know you guys like them. I'll probably keep making them anyway because, to be honest with you, I like making them, and sometimes it's about what you want to do, not what your audience wants you to do. So that's my advice for the day. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys next time.